So yeah, this is just a brief overview of what I want to talk about today. As Mark said, we'll just follow it. I'll talk for maybe 30 or 40 minutes, and then they'll tell me to shut up, and then we can have Q&A, and you can bombard me with questions, and then I'll do some signings at the end. I've just bought some freebies that I just want to give away. Sorry guys, most of them are like tiny little short skirts, little shorts, which you might or might not want, for friends and girlfriends, obviously, and small children of that size. But yeah, so I'll give some of those away at the end. I thought I'd skip quickly through the background just to save time, because I think most of you know more about me than I know about me from reading all the websites. I don't think when I started this I ever thought I'd have a Wikipedia page or whatever it's called. So I think you can find out most of the information about me on there, and thankfully most of it is accurate. So I started off as a kid swimming pretty badly. Then I went to university and carried on swimming, drinking, and studying, probably drinking and studying, and swimming took a back seat. I started running in 2000, did the London Marathon in 2002, then went to live and work in Nepal in 2004 and 5, and I've just got a couple of pictures there of us on a cycle trip. We cycled across the Himalayas, and that's us cycling to Everest Base Camp. That's us at Everest Base Camp. I did a couple of triathlons before I went to Nepal in 2004, but it was really in Nepal that I developed a love for biking and really learned how to bike, and I guess it was there that I appreciated that I was more talented than some of the others at endurance activities. So I think when I came back to the UK in 2006, I was more determined than ever to give triathlon a proper shot. So in 2006 I qualified for the World Age Groups. I managed to win the World Age Group Championships, and as many say, the rest is history. I joined Team TBB. I left my job in January last year, joined Team TBB in February, and won Hawaii last year and managed to do the double this year. What I thought would be maybe more useful for you guys is if I just gave an overview of kind of the training that we do, the lifestyle that we lead, perhaps go through some of the mistakes that I see other people make, give you some tips on perhaps training, on nutrition, on gear and things like that, some of which are relevant and some of which may not be, so you can just fall asleep, wake up at the appropriate point. And then I'll go through my season in 2008, then Hawaii, the race, how I prepared for it, the race itself, and my nutrition for the race, and then quickly go over my plans for 2009, so hopefully I won't run over too long. So in terms of training, I guess the most important thing for all of us, pro and age grouper, is to keep it simple, to be consistent, and most of all to enjoy it. And the last bit for me is the key. If you don't enjoy doing the three sports, if you don't love to train and love to race, then there isn't a lot of point in doing it. I mean, there'll be days where you don't like it, but I think for the majority of the time you've really got to love it. And I'm lucky enough that I get paid to do a job that I really, really do love. The most important thing is that the program is individualized. You need to work out or find out what works for you. You know, you're not the same as everyone, as the person next to you. You're all individuals. What works for one might not work for the other. You have different lifestyles, different backgrounds, different goals, different strengths, different weaknesses. So it's important not to follow a generic plan, whether that be for Olympic distance or for Ironman. And that's really what happens within the team that I was in and that I've just left. We're all, I mean, most of us were training for Ironman, but we were all all the programs were very much adapted to suit our strengths and weaknesses. So there wasn't, I mean, we're all individuals, and we were trained that way. I think 3 big mistakes that I see people make, especially some of my age group friends, is overemphasis on excessive volume and to the exclusion of quality. A single focus on 3 disciplines, so you're looking at yourself as swimmers, as bikers, as runners, rather than as triathletes, and that's very important. And lastly, an obsession with data. And I think this over-reliance on data means you lose intuition, and you lose a feel for your body. Don't get me wrong, there is a place for data, but I think especially in races, you need to know exactly what, for example, race pace feels like. And you really need to be very attuned to your body. And I think if you're so preoccupied with a heart rate or a watt, you don't get that intuitive feel of your body. And so I think that's one mistake that people make, is that they don't learn to read their body. In terms of my program, we train about 4 to 6 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's an equal mix of swim, bike and run. But I was thinking about this, and for us really, training is 24/7, because when we're resting, we're trained, like that's part of our training. When we're eating, it's part of making us stronger. When we're sleeping, that's part of making us stronger. So it's not only about the time where I get my heart rate above 120 or whatever. Every aspect of our life is geared towards training, and that can make it very monotonous and very regimented, of course, and very monodimensional. But I think that's what being a pro athlete is all about. You need that focus, and it is a 24/7 job. The sessions themselves range. It's not just continuous aerobic conditioning. It ranges from very easy, long, steady work to all out, eyes popping out your head, balls to the wall kind of work, and then everything in between. Aerobic race pace work. We do a lot of hill repetitions. So I'll stick it in the 5311 and grind up hills on my tri-bars, just up and down for an hour. And that's incredibly important, and that's really good for strength. And we do the same with running, and you get a real bang for your buck with those kind of sessions. You don't have to do them for very long, but they take a lot out of you, and they give you a lot back. So it's not all long, steady aerobic work. The longest run I do is 2 hours. The longest bike ride I ever do is 4.5 hours. So we're not doing 7-8 hour rides. We don't need to. We do a lot of double rides, whereby we do, say, the hill repeats in the morning, and then we'll go back and do another ride in the afternoon, which will be a time trial. So it might be 4 hours of riding in the day, but it's split up, so you get the quality. It's not like a 4 hour long steady ride. It's 2 hours of hills, time trial in the afternoon, and bang, you've got 4 hours of really high quality riding. The other thing that I said before, you've got to remember, the one discipline affects the other. So yes, I'm a very fast marathon runner. I might not be a fast marathon runner because I do the run training. I might be a fast marathon runner because of my bike training. And you've got to remember that. So if you're looking to improve your run, you need to look at your biking, and you need to look at your swimming. And you've got to remember that you're not a runner, you're a triathlete. So your biking can improve your running, and vice versa. And I'll get onto bike setup a bit later, but the same goes for that. So I train to be a stronger runner through my bike training.